Hi everyone. Did any of you see that little countdown? I hope you did. It's a new feature this week because Katie, the usual producer, is in Switzerland. And so we've got a new producer of the week that is either, you could call him Little Dan or Dan the Man. And he found the countdown machine. It's very exciting. So, welcome to everyone who has done the class before. It's thrilling to see you again. And if it's your first time, I'll explain a bit. You might have just listened in to listen to Mark tell his fantastic stories, but it's also meant to be a drawing class, not just a chit chat. So it's just like Graham Norton with drawing. So if you've got a piece of pencil or paper, I mean, people have drawn on the back. Hi, Jennifer. Have drawn on the back of fag packets. They've drawn with lipstick. They've drawn with anything they can find. They've done collage, cutting out an old biro, a bit of old paper, whatever you got. Just try and draw marks. It'd be lovely. And to be honest, he's got a very nice shirt on, which I think would be quite nice to draw. So he will try and stay still, but you know, people get a bit animated and a bit chit-chatty. So if you happen to have a phone and an iPad or something, you can take a screenshot so you can draw from the screenshot while you're listening. Oh, it's very modern. And then at the end of the class, if you've done a picture, if you could send it to Isolation Station Hastings via Facebook Messenger, but little notes will come up about that, so that's good. Then we'll have a little gallery at the end to show you what everyone's done. And even if you think it's not very good, please send it in, because I just love seeing what everyone's done. And you might discover you're a great artist without knowing. Right. So, by the way, hi Joe Garhan. I'm glad you're here again with your friend Jennifer Corker. Oh, hi. Oh, Tara, I haven't seen you for a long time. I love your drawing, so I'm that pleased you're there. Oh, and Brian, you do a lovely drawing as well. Oh, Eve, you're there. Marvellous. I'm thrilled to see you. I'm sure Mark will be as well. So, before I get going, oh, hi, Ta. I can never say your name. Ta. Hi. So, let me introduce tonight's fantastic guest. I think I first met him when he was about 17, but we can discuss that. He is a wonderful DJ and pop star, my favourite thing. So please welcome Mark Moore from S Express. Hearts for you.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Dan, Mark's still small and I'm small. Hey, there we go.
How's it going? Let me turn my volume up. I'm having technical difficulties. Here we go.
You shouldn't have technical difficulties because you're a whiz with the electronics.
Yeah, I just need to press the right button. There, I've got it now.
When we were practicing beforehand, he did lock himself out.
Of my home.
If you're a bit bored, you can have a look round at Mark's albums and see what he's got on offer. He's got the new David Bowie one. You showed me earlier.
Yeah, just down there. David Bowie live, came out for Record Store Day. Very good. Luther Vandross and backing vocals. 1974, the Soul Review show by David Bowie.
Oh, marvellous. So, Mark, let's talk about the first time we met, which was, you must have been so young. It was many, many years ago, wasn't it? When I lived in that squat house in Kentish Town.
Oh, my God. Did I first meet you at the WAG Club?
No, see, it wasn't invented then. It was, you remember that house in Kentish Town, and we always had parties, and then I think you came round the next day and helped tidy up.
Is that right? My God, yes.
Remember Johnny Britton lived there and my friend Jenny?
That's right. Yes. Yeah. I'd forgotten about that. I just thought I met you at the WAG Club.
No, before then even.
Oh, you're right. It's all coming back to me now. Johnny Britton. Yes.
Old house that was really tatty and all falling to bits.
Oh my God, yes.
And working at the Jewish care home in Golders Green.
That's right. That was my second job. My first job was a removal man, and I got fired after one day. For
Why was that, Mark?
Huh?
Why were you fired?
Dropping things down the stairs.
Well, you were too young to be a removal man.
I know. So then, I got a job at the Jewish Welfare Board looking after mentally handicapped and elderly people. And I started that for a little while. but I moved into a bedsit, and all the money I earned went into on this bedsit in the middle of nowhere. I didn't have a telephone or anything. I had practically no social life. It got really depressing. I wasn't eating properly. I got malnourished and had to leave the job because I was so skinny and ill.
Oh no!
Yeah.
And where did your parents live?
Huh?
Where did your parents live?
Oh, at that time, my dad was in Hampstead, but he'd remarried.
Yeah.
And yeah, my mum, she wasn't well, so I was put in the kids' home for a bit.
Oh.
Yeah, and then I came out and I stayed with my cousins in North Finchley. It was the house belonged to my auntie and uncle, but they moved out. They had another home nearer to where they worked in King's Cross. So it's just me and my cousins who were quite young in this big house in North Finchley, having parties and having a great time. But then they sold it. So that's
How
huh?
How dare they?
I know, how dare they? I need to turn you up a bit. I'm not getting.
Let me turn myself up as loud as I
Turn yourself up a bit. And then so that's when I moved into the bedsit. It was awful. It's like especially having no phone, I had to go to the phone box all the time and ring people to see what was happening and meet them somewhere.
Where did you first start sort of going out people?
Going out people. I first started going out to punk gigs.
Yeah.
Things like the Susan the Banshees and the Clash and X-Ray the Damned. Met a lot of people through that. And then we started, I went to my first nightclub, which was Billy's in Soho, which was run by Steve Strange and Rusty Egan. And then I started going to Philip Salon's first nightclub, Planets in Piccadilly. And it was at that nightclub that Boy George was DJing and talking about he's going to form some new band, other people called Culture Club. And all right, let's see what happens there. and then who else was DJing? George was DJing. Jeremy Healy was DJing, and Law. And that was fantastic. And I met Tasty Tim around that time.
Yeah.
Tasty Tim used to work in this little shop in Kensington. Not Kensington, in Queensway, and he used to order all these amazing electronic records, and no one would buy them, and they didn't have in the bargain bin. So I'd be there buying all this stuff in the bargain bin, and then I got friendly with Tim. We became best mates. He started working with Rusty Egan in the Cage in the Great Gear Market, King's Road.
Yeah.
And then he started DJing, and I'd help carry his records everywhere.
Oh, how old were you at this point?
I can't remember. Was I
young? So you're younger than me, quite a bit younger than me,
18. Sure. I must have been 18. Well, I met him when I was probably about 17 as well, when I met you. And then he started DJing a lot, and I'd be carrying his records. He started DJing at the Mug Club, and we put everything in this big kind of bread crate, like one of those crates, and carry his whole record collection. It never occurred to us to just sort out the records you need for the night. We thought we had to take records. And we'd go on the underground carrying this like crate of records, and then carry them up the street. It was insane. And what happened next? Yeah, he started DJing at the Mug Club for Philip Salon. And on the opening night, they had Malcolm McLaren doing barn dance classes. Do you remember that?
I don't know if I went to the first night or not.
I think
I can't. I remember Michael McLaren people having skipping at the Camden Palace.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
the double dance.
We did barn dancing at the Mug Club upstairs, and downstairs was all the music. And anyway, Tim started DJing upstairs because he got so popular and they needed music on 2 floors.
Yeah.
And then, I'd sort of play a few records here and there when Tim wanted to go to the loo. And then Tim didn't want to do the whole night, and he asked Philip if I could do it with him. And I had a test night, and it went really well, so I got the job. And then Philip used to do every 3 months. He'd do a big party at Heaven.
Yeah.
Played there with Tim. We did the upstairs room, and the Heaven staff saw everyone going crazy because we play all these nutty records. old disco and glam rock and things that you really shouldn't play in a club, like Julie Andrews' Lonely Goat Herd, things like that. And everyone was going crazy. So we got a job at Heaven. So that was our start to world domination.
Did you like music and that when you were very young, or?
Yeah.
Oh, you always did. Yeah.
I always liked music, but I liked everything I heard, really. I wasn't really that focused until I got into punk. And then I had this kind of, I knew what I wanted to hear. And that sort of went into the post-punk thing, Joy Division and stuff like that. New Order came after. And then the electronic stuff like Daniel Miller's record, Warm Leatherette, by The Normal. So I got into all that electronic.
Like covered by Grace Jones.
Yes.
See, I told you I didn't know anything about music. It's all
you lied to us. I told you. You know some stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was that was the journey towards DJing. That's how I started DJing. Yeah. Thanks to Tim. All to Tim and Phillip Salon.
Oh, because if anyone watching doesn't know Phillip Salon,
yes,
he's a phenomenon, isn't he?
He's a little
Jewish fella. How old is he? He's a bit like, isn't he? What's in Oliver Twist? Who's that one?
Oh Fagin. Yeah, Fagin. Yeah.
I remember being with him at Camden Palace it was Christmas, and he just got a sing song of all the songs from Oliver going on. So I think he's Fagin himself.
Yeah, he's a mix. He's a cross between Fagin and the child catcher from.
Someone says Phillip Salon's a legend.
Oh, he is definitely a legend.
I mean, in small doses, but he's so hilarious.
He's hilarious. I mean, Phillip was there for the birth of punk. He was a pre-punk punk, and then I don't know. I wouldn't even call him a new romantic. He was just dressed up crazy since I've.
Yeah, it's just what he is. So you DJ'd and all that, and how many years did you do that? Well, you're still doing it, but how many years did you do that for, really?
Well, I started DJing in 1983.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was doing that for a while. But in those days, Salon paid us, I think it's 15 quid when I DJ'd at the club.
Well, that was in them days.
It was, well, yeah, I guess it wasn't. It was probably the same as a dole check in those days. And then I remember me, Tasty Tim, and Jay Strongman, we were the ones DJing at the Mo Club. We all ganged up on Phillip at the end of the night and asked for a £5 pay rise. And Phillip was just mortified. He was almost in tears, actually, at having to dish out an extra 15 quid every week.
Oh, I the stories back when he got. Didn't he get? Someone mugged him in the street, didn't they? Then the people in the hospital got a petition up to get rid of him.
Oh no! That's true. Yeah. No, he used like the Mud Club was eventually got bigger and bigger, and it ended up at Busby's, which was a huge venue, held 2,000 people or something. Yeah. He would take the takings back in cash in a plastic bag on the night bus because he was too stingy to take a taxi.
I couldn't find a young boy to drive him.
So he would take this like thousands and thousands of pounds in a plastic bag on the night bus. People cottoned on to this, and they were waiting for him at his house. And that's when he got attacked and ended up in hospital. It was horrific.
But how funny is it now that in those days you'd never thought that you could pay by card or anything, could you? Everything was cash.
Yeah.
Just wasn't much with your card like now.
Oh, you're making us
feel on those cash desks, and people were counting up their little pennies to give me.
Yeah, you used to do the WAG Club, didn't you?
Yeah. And then they get. I hate it when they got a really grubby one, and they just threw it at you all wrapped up, and you had to fold it out. Nice. Anyway, those were the days.
Yeah.
So, how did you decide? What happened that you decided you wanted to make your own music?
Mute Records, who had people like Depeche Mode and Fad Gadget.
Well, can I tell you, Dave Garhan's wife, she's drawing you right now.
Jo Garn, hello, Jo.
Yeah.
Listen, me and Joe, we go back a long way to the. In fact, I met her before I met you, Sue, which is pretty.
Really?
Yes, from the punk squats in King's Cross.
Yeah.
I'd be after the music machine was shut, you'd have to wait around till the train started running again in the morning. So I'd go and bang on the doors at the punk squats, and Joe Garn would let me in and sleep in a corner somewhere.
Because I only met the other day because Stephen Linnard lives here now.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, they're old friends.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
I was thrilled being a huge Depeche fan.
So hello, Joe. But anyway, yes. So Mute Records opened up where I was living in the Harrow Road. I moved in with my mum. We were living in this council flat in Harrow Road, and I'd go into Mute Records and I'd be like, I had to hang out there, and they got sent loads of demos and stuff. They were like, oh, can I have this? Can I have this one? This other label opened up there called Rhythm King, who were friends of mine. And I'd be hanging out there, and I'd go in and I'd say, oh, there's this really good song. They play it at Taboo. Geoffrey Hinton plays it all the time. It's called Taffy, I Love My Radio. No one's bothered to sign it in the UK. Why don't you sign it? They signed it, went top 10. And then I got them, Tim Westwood gave me this demo by the Beatmasters and Cookie Crew, Rock the House.
Yeah.
And I took it to them. I said, this is amazing. I play it. Every night I play it, people go crazy. Sign this, you'll have a hit. They signed it, another top 10 hit for them.
They should have given you their booker or whatever.
So, yeah, and then eventually I kept getting them all these artists like Renegade Soundwave and stuff like that. And then they said, Mark, you've got us all these hit records and you haven't actually asked for anything. Can we give you a check for some money? And I'm like, yeah, please. Yeah. They gave me a check with some money. They said, what else can we do for you? And I said, I've got these ideas for a track. And if you could put me in the studio, that would be amazing. And they said, look, right, we'll put you in the studio. And I gave them a cassette of the rough idea. It was terrible. And they listened to it. They were like, we don't really understand this cassette, but we trust you. And then they said, we're going to put you together with someone who knows their way around the studio, someone, a bit more intelligent than me. And then they put me with Pascal Gabriel, and we hit it off like that. And we started working on it, and that's how S Express started. He produced the first 2 singles.
Now, I've got to ask you, who thought of the name?
I did.
When I was looking the other day, do you know what? I just realised that it was Sex Press.
Yeah.
I thought, what a good name. How clever you were to think of that.
Yes, that's how it happened. And the weird thing was I was just starting as a pop artist. Rhythm King were just starting to have hit records, so really none of us knew what we were doing. Yeah. It was all like making it up at the time, and suddenly the label got really, really successful. They had Bomb the Bass, which Pascal Gabriel also worked on.
That club did well, didn't it? For
Betty Boo, the Beatmasters. I mean, loads of good music, Yeah.
I know. It was funny because like all the old DJs at the WAG, because there was Dave Durrell, wasn't there? The big hit.
Dave Durrell did Mars, Pump Up the Volume.
Yeah.
It was good, and Cold Cut and Soul to Soul. There's all these like a bunch of us. It's all the kind of like the shy, quiet ones who suddenly started making music and getting all these.
Because you've never been like a show-off mad pop star, have you?
Not really.
Or have you? Is there things I don't know?
No, I've always, I don't know, I kind of got into it. But I've always been quite shy. I've always been like no, I was never the loud one at the party. But yeah, that's the thing. I think in the 80s, it was all the loud ones, and really, they all became pop stars. And then in the late 80s, 90s, it was all the kind of nerdy DJ, quiet ones like me and Tim and Dave Durrell, and it was it changed.
I think all the ones who've done best out of it, because you've never had terrible. I'm being very personal. You've never had terrible drug or drink problems or anything, have you? You just sort of survived. I'm
so glad you didn't notice when I did have the terrible problems. Yeah, actually, that was a lot later. I got a bit silly.
Did you?
Yeah, but it's
Oh,
all I'm
are
looking
you?
for now.
I can't imagine you being like that. She always seems sensible.
Ah. No, it got silly at one point. I mean, it's, it's the post Summer of Love,
Yeah,
Acid House. I think everyone went a bit nutty then, you know.
except me. I had to get up and go to work. That was my trouble.
Well, there you go. Kept you grounded.
It did. Oh, now, so I was asking anyone who's been a pop star, what was your first time on Top of the Pops like?
It was like being held prisoner for a whole day.
Oh,
You go there, you're not allowed out of the dressing room except for like rehearsals. And I think they rehearsed 2 or 3 times during the day to get
yeah,
camera angles and stuff like that. Yeah, so it's really boring. You're literally held captive. And
yeah,
the only fun you can have is knocking on other people's doors and seeing who, what pop stars behind that door.
yeah.
Some people are friendly, some weren't. But I've been the Top of the Pops before. Like I said, I got Good King their first hit with Taffy, I Love My
Yeah.
Radio. So I went to the Top of the Pops performance for that. So I knew what to expect. No, it was the second time I went on Top of the Pops. I knew how boring it was. So I dropped a naughty, cheeky half when I was there. And, you could kind of see in the performance, it was Superfly Guy that I don't know
Wow.
where the hell I am at one point in the performance. So yeah, that was fun. That was the best time on Top of the Pops, I think.
See, it was one of my ambitions to go there, and it'll never take place now.
Oh, you never know. They might revive it.
You
Somebody's got.
never know. I don't think I'll have a pop career because I can't sing. Um, so then what else? What happened? So you had your hits. Did you go on tour and all that kind of business?
We didn't do massive tours. We did a mini tour, and I hated it. I didn't really
Yeah,
like it. So I just thought I don't want to do this kind of tour. I went back to DJing really for a long
yeah,
time. Yeah, put the band on hold. I thought I'd just do remixes and stuff like that. Uh,
yeah,
bit of production here and there. But I mean, I enjoyed being in a pop band for the first 2, 3 years or
yeah.
so. And it just became really repetitive. Um, yeah, I'm not very good at all that photo taking. You basically you lock yourself away. You record an album, then you do the whole circus of photo shoots and radios and TVs and touring.
Smash interviews.
Smash hits interviews for sure. Yeah. Um, Actually, someone messaged me on Facebook. I think it was Graham Crossy. I don't know if you're here now. If you are, hi. And he was saying, "Oh, it would be just like doing this with you, Sue. It was just the time I used to draw pictures of you in smash hits," which I thought was really sweet.
Well, you used to work in Smash It. did you?
No, he just used to buy it and draw pictures
Oh,
of it.
buy it, then draw pictures of you from it.
It was
Oh,
really lovely.
that's
um,
lovely.
I've got to say hi to Sinead if she's there. She's another mad clubber. She says she's coming and drawing the picture. Don't make it horrible, Sinead. I know
If
you.
you anyone got any messages, ask your questions. We can put them up.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
oh
Lucy,
wow. Hello, Lucy. Good days indeed. Yeah.
see, I wasn't one for the acid house. That's a whole blank in my life.
Really, I'd love to have got you down an acid house
And
party.
I went once. I went to Shoom, I think,
Oh, there
once.
you go. You couldn't choose a better one.
But you know, Danny Rampling lives here as well.
Oh yes, that's
No,
right.
it's hilarious. Everyone here. So you
Oh,
used to go all the time, raving and that.
yeah, it was non-stop then, and it did get really silly where you'd be up for like 2 days or so, at least 2 days, going just from one party to the other.
You got my,
Yeah, really silly.
I know people can't really believe it, but I've only stayed up all night about 3 times in my life. I like my bed too much.
Oh, dear. But you were an avid clubber before that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't the rave business, you couldn't really sit and chat, and that's my favourite thing.
No.
I
I
like
mean,
it.
the chatting was a lot of sort of touching people's hair and going, "Oh, I love
Yeah,
you."
yeah.
That was quite fun, though.
Yeah, I think. See, I'm not very touchy-feely, so I think that's probably why I didn't like it. Oh, we are.
Naumann, hello, gorgeous Naumann. Naumann is an incredible artist, singer.
Yeah.
Check out all his records. He did a remake of one of my tracks on my remix album that came out
Yeah.
a few 2 or 3
Oh,
years ago.
Electro Go-Go at
Yeah,
Magic
that
Road.
was my nightclub, and Naumann would always be down there. He's performed there. Yeah, Naumann is great. Check him out, everyone.
Okay. I'll have to look at them
Oh,
up.
Naumann.
What else?
Yeah, did you come to Electro Go-Go, my nightclub, Sue?
No.
Oh,
If it was something to do with Acid House, I wouldn't be there.
no, this was post Acid House. After Acid House kind of went on for a bit, there
I
was
think I might stop in the mid sort of 90s. I didn't go out much because I think I was working for Lucy and all the time and that.
oh yeah. Well,
Yeah, so sometimes I hardly ever went out. It was weird.
yeah. Well, basically, after Acid House came Electroclash, which was kind of like going back to all the things we loved when we went out when we were 17 and 18.
Yeah.
It was all that, but based on electronic kind of post-punk stuff and things like
Yeah.
that. And so all these clubs sprung up, like the Cock, and I did Electro Go-Go, and then there was Nag Nag Nag, and everyone started dressing up again. And this coincided with the whole rebirth of Shoreditch, where rents were cheap and everyone would go live in Shoreditch and like dress up crazy. So that was
And
a
now
fun.
come to St Leonard's and dress up crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, that's what Hammond was talking about. The club Electric Go-Go. Julia used to play there as well. And, yeah, a bunch of us.
Do you go out much? Oh, where was your nightclub? Morwag
We went
Rogers.
Madame Jojo's in Soho. Yeah, I think shut down now. I think they were going to reopen it, but God knows what's happening to Clubland now.
Oh, I think my friends come over from America hoping to reopen it, but not till the year, I don't think.
Oh, what's your friend's name?
Eric.
Eric.
He used to run. I don't know if I meant to say this. He used to run Beige in New York.
Philip Salon keeps talking about some American guy who's come over to open some clubs here, and he reckons I'm distantly related to this guy. I wonder if this guy is talking about is Eric.
He's a bit German. You a
Oh,
bit German?
I don't think so.
No. Oh well. Well, if Philip Salon says it,
he must know.
yeah, but he's American though, so it might be him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but with all this virus, who knows when they're going to open again?
Yeah.
So, did you used to, before this virus, were you still going out a lot all the time and that?
Do you know, I wasn't going out tons. I'd be going out to select things that were good. Yeah, I mean, the Glory's great. That's this pub in Kingsland Road.
Well, came to your birthday there.
That's right. Yes, you got people like Johnny Woo will DJ there, and Princess Julia. So they have great people there. The great drag shows as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been going to a lot of gigs really before that. I've been going to see bands like Warm Douche. If you don't know Warm Douche, check them out. They're my favourite band at the moment.
Never heard of them. Warm Douche or what?
Douche. Yeah. Oh, Joe Garn, hello. I have a podcast of one of your New Year's Eve shows in South America, in Brazil. Was it a special event? It must have been in Brazil. I think that's it. Yeah, wow. I'll have to hear that. Oh,
we can remember it.
I don't know it was a podcast. I remember DJing.
Strange noises.
Yeah. Wow.
Did you used to travel a lot around the world with your band?
Yeah, constantly. I mean, not just with the band, but with the DJing. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What's your favorite country? Best?
Favorite country? It's so hard to say. Brazil was amazing. Rio, Tokyo, love Tokyo. Bali was really good.
What, you DJ'd in Bali?
Yeah, but it was in the days when the electricity would pack in if there was a thunderstorm. It's a lot more modernized everywhere now in Bali. Yeah. But in those days, they barely had TVs, you know, and you'd go there and there'd be a cafe with a TV and a video player,
Yeah.
and they show something, they show a movie, and then next week everyone would be dressing like the movie, you know, like maybe they'd show, I don't know, Lords of Flatbush. Suddenly they'd be wearing leather jackets, you know.
Oh,
It was great. Yeah,
I don't really like the way, you know, like what before when you were younger, you went abroad. It was so different. It was
yeah,
like really going somewhere different. But
yeah,
now the world and the internet, everything's all like the
yeah.
standard.
Exactly, exactly. And it was a shame. Every year I'd go back to Bali and they'd be more and more westernized. And
Yeah.
we'd have a moan and they'd go, why are you complaining about us having progress? So why is progress just for you guys and not for us? We want
They're very,
progress.
aren't they?
So can't complain really.
I know, bless them. And did you work with Philip Glass at one point?
Yes, I worked with Philip Glass. Philip Glass, for those who don't know, he's a neoclassical composer. He's done many soundtracks for many great films like Koi and the Scazzi, etc. Um, he's always been someone I loved musically. He does this very kind of repetitive kind of orchestral, and some of it's on piano, some of it was quite, probably could almost classify it electronic, the way it was kind of programmed and repetitive. Um, so yeah, I just through a journalist friend who interviewed him, I asked if he'd like to remix one of my singles and collaborate, and surprisingly, he said yes. Uh,
Yeah.
and so we kind of met up and talked about it, and he came around my flat, and you know, we really hit it off. He was really down to earth. He wasn't pretentious, and we said, "Oh, we're going out to a rave, and we don't know if you fancy coming." He goes, "Oh yeah, I'd like to come."
How
Actually,
old was he at this time?
he must have been about at that time. He must have been about 55, 60.
Oh, quite not old then, young.
Yeah,
Young.
but we were 25.
Yeah. He seemed old.
Yeah, he must have been about 60, I think. Um, anyway, so he came with us, and then we said, "Oh, Philip, I think we should warn you. We're going to be doing some stuff, an ecstasy pill, and we just thought we should let you know. And you want one?" And he goes, "Oh, the thing about you young people is you think you're the only people who've taken drugs. Yes, please." So he took it and he came to the rave with us, and he was kind of like, I could see him nodding in the corner.
Yeah.
And then suddenly he turned to me and goes, "I get it now. I see why you think your music is like my music. I get it." And he was
Oh,
one of the coolest guys you could hope to meet. Yeah. So every time he came over and did an opera here, the Royal Opera, English National Opera House, or whatever, I'd go and see him. And
yeah.
yeah, beautiful guy, really lovely.
Oh.
He
Oh, what?
remixed "Hey Music Lover" in case people don't know.
Yeah.
Sorry, what were you about to say, Sue?
What have you been doing during the lockdown?
Well, at first, I did all kind of stuff like stuff I always said I was going to do and didn't bother, like organizing things, putting things in alphabetical order, records,
Yeah.
just tidying and getting rid of stuff. And I know it doesn't look very tidy at the moment, but
Oh,
and then I started doing this meditation course and just working on myself and exercising. And then I did this thing where I stopped eating after 8 o'clock. I wouldn't eat it because I'd always be midnight. I'd be like making a sandwich and stuff like
yeah.
that. I stopped eating after 8 o'clock, and then I don't eat again for 14 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I feel a lot better for it because you rest your digestive system for 14 hours. It stops having to work.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I did all that for lots of stuff, me stuff, working on bettering me, and then now I'm in the kind of writing phase where I've been finishing off music, writing music, writing as actual writing. I just wrote I did a piece for the queerbible.com, which is run by
Oh,
Jack Guinness. Have you done that?
yeah.
Where you write about your favourite icon. Who did you write
Yeah.
about?
I think I wrote about Lee from what I can
Oh,
remember.
lovely. Yeah. Fantastic. I wrote about Quentin Crisp, and they're going to do a book of it. So they asked me to expand on it for the book. So I did some writing for that, and then I've just been writing things down. I suppose you'd call it my memoirs. I don't know, but yeah, that's what I've been doing. What
Great.
have you been doing?
To be honest, my life hasn't changed that much at all, really. Because really, I just potter about most of the time.
Yeah.
And I quiz and art class in pubs and that. So for the first couple of weeks, I enjoyed, like you, I went round tidying. I tidied all my drawers, all my cupboards. They all need tidying again now, though. And then Isolation Station got in touch and asked me to do this online. So that kind of kept me busy, and it's been great. And I've got a little garden, and people walk past, so sit in the garden, see going past. It was nice.
People come to admire the garden.
I don't admire; they just come for a chit chat and catch up on the local gossip. They go through, everything. And I can't help it if people tell me it, can I?
I always get the impression that where you live is a bit like, Map and Lucia.
Oh, it's so Map and Lucia. If someone says something, everyone else knows.
Yeah.
They'll come around going, well, have you heard this? And quite often you're told so many false stories. And you go, but I was there. That never happened. But the stories go around. What's going on? But it's near because Mapa Lucia is only about 8 miles away at Rye, so it's all very similar.
Is that where it is? Yeah.
Yeah.
That was fantastic. Oh, who's the Wayne? Hello, Wayne.
I was going to bring up the ball game evenings.
I've had to make the ball game evenings smaller because of the COVID restrictions. But yeah, still doing the ball game evenings. Matt Thomas, hello. Billy Ray Martin, wonderful singer. Billy Ray Martin used to be Electribe 101. Glad that you discovered her. Yeah,
now, so let's hear more about your ball game evening, because it's very
I don't know where to start. I always loved ball gaming as a kid. And
what's your favourite one?
Eh?
What Coppet I used to like.
Oh, but with the Pop-O-Matic thing, with the dice.
That's Frustration.
Oh, Frustration. Yes.
I used to long for that. My mum was ever quite poor, so I couldn't have it.
Oh,
I had it, so that was good.
I'll have to get you one. But
so
we play more kind of gamers games. There's one that suddenly got really popular called Pandemic, where you're a bunch of scientists and you have to fly around the world, sort of trying to find a cure for the disease. And yeah, it's kind of very current, as you obviously know.
Yeah.
But it came out ages ago, this game, but it's suddenly everyone's playing it.
Yeah. Well, that sounds good. See, I'm not very good at ball game. I get bored. They go on for sometimes, yours. Ages, don't they?
Some of them can go on for half an hour. Other ones can go on for 4 hours. Depends which game you pick. And they've got different difficulties. Some you can play with, your friends' kids. Other ones you have to play with, boffin types.
Boffin, yeah. I'll be the ones with the kids. That's all I
love. They're really good fun. They're the ones that they make now. They've come a long way since like Monopoly and things like that. They're a bit more sophisticated now. They're actually not called board games anymore, Sue. They're called designer board games. There you go.
I have to get designer Cluedo. That's about my limit.
I'll get you around for a game, short game, one that you'll enjoy. I'll find something.
Now, has anyone else got any questions they're keen to ask Mark? Any questions? Oh, what's the last board game you played?
Oh, the last one, Joe. I think you've got the bug. I think you want to play, don't you? You're welcome. The last one I played was last night, and it was I've totally forgotten already. Hang on a minute. Oh, it's called Luxor, where you have to you're explorers and you go into an Egyptian tomb and you have to collect treasures and try and make it to the end of the tomb.
Yeah. Do you ever do these games online?
Yeah, since lockdown,
feel a bit tame in comparison.
Some of them are all right. Since lockdown happened, we had to move on to this place called BoardGameArena.com.
Yeah.
They've programmed a lot, about 200 games, so you can play them, and they're all automated. you just kind of click on stuff. It's quite simple if you know the rules of the game. So we just do what we're doing now, so we can all see each other. We all play against each other. It's almost as good as the real thing. So that's what we did during
lockdown, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great.
Something I'm missing out on the world of games.
We'll have to get you in.
I don't play card games really. I'm not very good.
There's a lot of good card games.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh. Now, what musicians do you like at the moment? Who do you think is really good? You've said that other group I've never heard of.
Yeah, Warm Dusha. Really like Warm Dusha. They're a bit like Captain Beefheart, got a bit more kind of not mainstream, but a bit less chaotic. But they've got a Beefheart vibe mixed with funkadelic. They've got a funky side to them. They've got amazing remixes by Soulwax, a bit more dance floor. They've got guest artists on their last album. Iggy Pop was a guest artist. The rapper Kool Keith was a guest artist. I recommend them. We were going to go see them at Play at Heaven literally one day before the lockdown kicked in. So it obviously got cancelled and we're gutted. And we were actually talking about it. Would we still go if it wasn't cancelled? And yeah, we would have still gone. That's how much we wanted to see them.
You didn't care about your life at risk?
They were worth risking your life for. Some music is worth it. So yeah, Warm Dusha, very good. Another one that I'm loving is Marie Davidson. She's a French Canadian. She's a producer. She sings on her stuff as well. Electronic artist. She's amazing. She works with her husband. And she's got a new album out, and it's she's kind of branched out. It's less kind of restricted by electronica and a bit more, I don't know, it feels a bit more worldy, if you know what I mean. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, she's worth checking out.
Oh yeah, are you still in touch with Sonique?
Yes, I saw Sonique the other day. Oh, I love your David Bowie your
Avatar.
Avatar, yes.
Where did that come from?
Sonique, I saw for her birthday. Yeah, she's got this huge garden, so we thought it'd be okay during COVID to have a birthday there. And she had about 30 people, and everyone started drinking, and everyone forgot, about social distancing. It got a bit, but it was fine. No one got ill, thank God. We all checked in with each other. Oh, tell us about your. Oh yes, Andrew Allen. Good question. I've just been working with Dan Donovan, who used to. He's from Big Audio Dynamite and Dread Zone, and we did a collaboration with Hussein Shalayan, the fashion designer, who's lovely. I've not met.
I'm a big fan of his work. I don't know him, but I love his
work.
Yeah,
well, I knew his stuff because he did all that amazing. Collections where it's like a refugee family, and you just see this table and some chairs, and it's like if you have to leave in a hurry, and suddenly they get the table and the woman stands in the middle of the table and the middle goes down and she stands in it and pulls the table up, and it's like a concertina that turns into a dress which she hooks over her shoulders, and the chairs turn into like a jacket and a suitcase. So it's like refugees. If you have to leave the country in a hurry, that's your bag and fashion collection. And he also did things like he had the melting dress where the model came on the catwalk, and then there was a shower and it turned on and the dress melted, and then there's another dress underneath.
Guess they didn't sell any of them.
It's incredible. So he basically, through Suzanne Deakin, who's a neighbour of mine in de Beauvoir, she told Hussein about me working with our friend James Jeanette and Stuart, who are in the band called Wild Daughter. Me and Dan produced one of their singles. They're amazing bands. I've got to see them live.
Oh, I've seen them.
Oh yeah, there you go. So you don't know about music, you've seen all the good ones. Anyway, so yeah, she told Hussein about the record we did, and he really liked it, and he said, "Oh, can I contact Mark?" And he rang up, he came round, we had a meeting. He said, "Oh, can you do the music for my next fashion show? But I want to write brand new music with you. I'm going to do the vocals and write the melody lines, and perform it live on the show." So I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, this should be interesting. So that's what we did. We did like 4 new tracks, and we performed it live at the show. And it was meant to come out this year, but then COVID got in the way. So we will be putting it out soon. We'll probably do a few more tracks because we really enjoy working together.
Oh, I love people who are creative who can turn their hand to this, that, and the other.
Yeah, he took to it like that.
Yeah.
We had to kind of teach him the language. He didn't know how to communicate. Oh, I want this more reverb, or I want this more echo. He didn't know the language. We had to teach him all the language and
Yeah.
make it easier for him to convey his ideas. And he came out with these really catchy tunes, which really impressed me. And he performed them well on the day of the show, which impressed me even more. I was really nervous, thinking, is he going to be able to do this? He's great. So
Yeah, I've got never met him, never seen him, but I've always really thought he's amazing what he does.
yeah.
Yeah. So, any other exciting things coming up?
There was meant to be a box set of every single S Express track and B-side ever made coming out this year. Guess what happens? So we're hoping that will come out next year. I don't know. Don't know. We'll see. Yeah.
It's so even James Bond's been put off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But then all the cinemas are closing down because they've got nothing to show. So why don't they show that? Doesn't make sense. But still,
yeah,
nothing makes sense anymore.
They're digging out all the old films, aren't they, Sue? Like, I think they're showing. Yeah, they're showing like Psycho, the old black and white, Alfred Hitchcock film, and so I might actually go and try and support them. But I'm a bit worried about going to the cinema. I don't know who's sat there.
I know. Can you sit next to a friend? Because when I'm at the cinema, I'm terrible. I do like a chat. Go, oh, what's happening here? There. And if they're miles away, they won't hear me, and I can't really go. Oi, what do you think of that?
Oh. I must admit, Sue, I'm very religious about my movie going. I can't bear it when someone talks to me in the movie. But I reckon if you and I watched a certain thing together, it'd be quite fun to have you chatting.
Did you get sweets?
Do I get what?
Sweets.
What's that?
Sweets and popcorn.
Oh,
don't do you?
I'm not bothered with the popcorn.
No, I don't really like popcorn. It's boring.
I must admit, those plastic hot dogs that they can't be real. Somehow I tend to be attracted to them, and then I buy one, and I think, what? Halfway through, I think, what have I done? Yeah, they're a bit weird.
I know they're repulsive. I've never liked a hot dog. What else? So, have you watched much telly, Netflix, or anything while this has been on?
Yeah, I went on a few binges. I've just started binging Walking Dead, the last season.
Yeah, I've never watched that.
It's quite good.
About ghosts, zombies, dead people, fear and danger. I don't like it.
Oh, it's horrible.
It's like a simple romance.
There's a bit of romance in Walking Dead, covered in gore. But
I started watching Schitt's Creek for the 3rd time today.
Yeah, that was fun. Schitt's Creek.
Love it.
I'll tell you what's good about Walking Dead. Samantha Morton. You know Samantha Morton?
Yeah.
She's an amazing actress, and she's in it as the villain called Alpha, and she's got a shaved head, and she like cuts off zombie faces and puts them on as a mask, and covers herself in their entrails so the zombies won't notice her. They think she's one of them. And she's one of the best villains in ages. She's just really scary. But anyway, don't watch it. It will give you nightmares, Sue.
I wouldn't like it. No, I wouldn't. I hate it.
What else have you been watching, Sue? What else have you been watching? Binging on?
Romantic comedies like Katie Keene and...
I don't know these.
I know, they're all weird. Good Trouble. I find a lot of them, to be honest, on BBC iPlayer.
Oh, okay.
Like American series, but I don't think they're ever on proper telly. But they're on the iPad, and I quite like them.
Oh.
I just like playing. young people things. There's something wrong with me. I can't.
Nothing wrong with that. What else have I been watching? I watched Homecoming with Julia Roberts in season 1, and then Janelle Monáe in season 2.
Yeah.
Kind of got mixed reviews, but I loved it. It reminded me of those old films from the 70s, those sort of paranoid thriller thriller things like The Parallax View and 3 Days of the Condor and things like that. Things that Faye Dunaway would be in, really long, slow scenes.
Oh, watch The Fall on Netflix.
Oh, that's great.
Have you seen that? Would I like it? I wouldn't like it. I wouldn't.
What else did
The film says
I
Mark Perry.
For You was great. Yeah.
Oh yeah, people have said that's good, but
Yeah, that was really good.
see, I don't even really like. It's all right, Fleabag. People bang on and on. It's the best thing ever.
Yeah,
it's all right.
It's all right. I liked it, but I wasn't religious about it. I don't
think it's the best
yeah.
thing I've seen in my life.
Yeah. But yeah, thank goodness. I mean, the good thing about this whole lockdown thing is that you can binge watch without feeling guilty.
I know. That's what I like as well. FOMO. So you know, some fear of missing out. You're not missing out on anything, so you can just enjoy sitting at home. Out.
I love that you always look on the bright side, Sue.
I do, yeah, I know. I'm a bit simple like that, but I was trying the good side of everything. Every cloud's got a silver lining.
Yeah.
I can't have said that to someone today, and they go, "What?" I went, and I explained. They went, "Oh yeah, you're right." Now, anymore? We've only got 8 minutes left.
Oh,
so
that went quick. Well, it went quick for us. I don't think it went quick.
Past.
Don't know if it went quick for everyone else.
From my
Any more questions? We love a question. Don't be shy.
What do you have for your lunch, Mark?
I had dear Stephen Hamilton made me this amazing chicken soup. Very nice.
Yeah.
Very comfort food. Do you plan another night when all is back to normal? Oh, now, Mon, I would love to do another night, but you know what? It's so much work doing the night. It really is. It became a full-time job doing Madame Jojo, Electric Go-Go at Madame Jojo's. So I stopped doing my own nightclub. I just thought enough is enough. I need to get back to making some music and writing. And
I don't know if you can see this, but I've got a picture that Monon. It's very good, but it looks a bit like, I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it?
No.
Oh, now it looks a bit like Grace Jones.
Bit of glare.
But we'll see it up later, so it will look.
You made me look like Grace Jones. That's fantastic.
I know. What more could you want in life?
Thank you, Nauman.
So, you think running the nightclub's too much work? You got so pushy, isn't it?
It was a full-time job, but we were booking bands as well and stuff, like really good bands or little acts and things like that. And also guest DJs and blah blah blah. With some really good guest DJs, we had like Mark Almond, we had Andy Bell from Erasure, we had Carl Craig with one of the Detroit techno wizards. We had Asia Argento, the actress, Italian actress. She DJ'd. She got suddenly the place was full of Italian fans. It was amazing. Yeah. Loads of people we've had. So yeah, it was a full-time job. It was good fun, but let's do something else now. Maybe in another 5 years.
I like people telling me to do things. I just have to work. I don't like being my own boss and have to sort everything out. I like people to say, "You do this." I go, "All right, then that'd be a joy." I don't have responsibility of employing people and asking,
Yeah. Did you know I was watching the other day the Dennis Nilsson documentary?
Did you think of me?
I kept expecting you to appear any minute now. Not that she's a cohort of Dennis Nilsson, for those who don't know. You explain, Sue.
Well, I'm always telling them this story.
Oh, you're always telling that one story.
I just met him once when he worked in the same jobs in a job centre, but I didn't work in that job centre at the time. But then afterwards, I did work in the same job centre, in the very room where he worked, and in the basement there was all the scrapbooks with his about him and all the newspaper cuttings and that.
Wow.
That when I left, they thought I might steal because they thought I was a bit of person obsessed with things like that, so they took them away. So I couldn't have them.
Oh
That's
my!
what they thought of me in the job centre. They thought I was a Dennis Nilsson thief.
Oh my goodness! You don't want to
I
get
never
labelled with that soon.
job centre. I was
Yeah,
a weird.
any minute now, they're gonna have someone playing her.
You don't know how
Watched it
true.
actually.
You don't know how true that might be.
Yeah. Hey,
Yes.
tell us, you're saying something. I don't know what it is. What are you
What
trying to?
a lovely, fascinating man Mark is. Isn't that nice?
Oh, thank you, John. That's
You're a
lovely.
very nice person. You've got no airs and graces, have you? Or, you know.
I try to keep my feet firm on the ground.
Exactly.
Always
Same.
work, but now and again.
I know. Well, let me tell everyone. Start if you've got anyone that's actually drawn anything. Look, Naomi, send it to on Facebook Messenger. Just type in Isolation Station Hastings and send it there. Then hopefully in a minute, Dan the man will get them up and show us if we're lucky. But
Love.
then tomorrow or the next day, we do a little thing on Facebook of them all.
Oh,
That's my
great.
favourite bit. Because I
Fantastic.
like it. When I did the live in Wayne's pub, I loved it because I could see what was going on and could see what was doing. And this, like, I'm just waiting to see what might appear. What exciting!
Can you see everyone? No, you can't. It's not like Zoom where you
No,
can
it's
see
not Zoom, so I can't see anyone. No.
anyone.
Is it? Oh, they've only got 4 pictures.
We'd love to see them.
Can we see the 4?
Yeah. I should have stressed to them, be kind to me.
Oh, very nice.
Oh, who did it? Is this Naumon? I think this is Naumon. Is this Naumon?
No,
Who
that's
did
not. I
this
don't
one?
know who did that.
I
But
like.
people enjoy the chit chat so much they can't concentrate on drawing.
I like that. Yeah.
Next one, got another one.
Oh wow.
That's another one.
Love it. The shirt. Fantastic. And I love the background.
Really clever, the backdrop.
Yeah, the backdrop is ingenious.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're giving you a very round face, and you more have a long face.
that's sweet. Thank you. I like that.
Oh,
wow. Now this is.
That's beautiful and arty.
Yeah.
Oh, a lovely use of ink, I'd say. A lovely use of colour.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, but if you've got any more, please send them in. Oh, that looks like you. That's lovely.
That's pretty cool. Hang on, what's the figure in the background?
That's one of your albums, I think.
Amazing. Oh, wow.
I think that's Jennifer Corker, Joe's friend.
Wow.
Then what she does is she embroiders them afterwards.
Really?
Yeah, they're really lovely.
They're all cool. Really lovely.
Yeah, you look beautiful. Oh,
wow.
Now that might be. I don't know.
Wow.
Oh no, it hasn't got big red lips, so it might be Despo, but I don't know that it is.
Nice.
So I get used to people. Oh, I love all the box. I thought that those squares in the background would look really good.
Yeah. I'm quite impressed with all these.
Oh yeah, and there's only an hour as well. Do you know what I mean? And you're fidgeting, so.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But I've got a new project, and I'm going to draw them all. But I haven't got round to it yet. But I've got them ready to copy and do.
Oh.
So I need to give myself a little art project, I think.
Yeah. I'm proud of some of Sue's art.
Oh, you are? Yeah, divine.
Yeah.
Right, so we finish soon, but any more last questions from anyone? Oh, yeah, the ink drawing was good. More action. Oh, was that yours, Joe?
Yours. Amazing, Joe.
Lovely. I think in that picture, she looks like, Joe looks like the girl from the Human League.
Oh. I still have the telephone. Hang on. That's my headphones, my DJ.
Corin Drury's done one as well. Let me have a look. Oh, yeah. I've got a lovely... Corin, can you send it to Isolation Station so we can put it up? You know Corin, don't you?
Corin Drury?
Yeah, another 80s pop star.
Oh, I love Corin. She's
my fan base.
Yeah, she's actually my neighbour.
Yeah.
What are you saying, Sue?
I can't remember. But my love of pop stars.
Yeah, she's great.
I know.
Gorgeous, Corinne.
Yeah, but I think I'm going to ask her to be model soon. I haven't got round yet, but I will. I think because she's got such a lovely face and hair.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I said to Sue, what should I wear? Should I wear something simple, simple shirt, so they can just not have too much work to do? She goes, oh no, wear something really kind of colourful.
Exactly. We want nice, bright colours. Oh, Vanessa, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I look forward to seeing your picture. Oh, good, Jennifer. Thank you. I was thrilled because all these people on here, I don't really know. You know what I mean? I've never met Jennifer Corker, but I feel I know her because she's every week.
Yeah, because she's.
And then I met her with Joe Garhan at the opening of Wayne's Pub in Bexhill.
Wow! This is the first time you met Joe.
Yeah, about 3 weeks ago at the opening of Wayne's Pub.
Oh, Joe! I can tell you many stories about Joe. She was Queen Bee back in the punk scene where we were frequenting. Yeah, everyone looked up to her.
Yeah. Oh, she was the queen.
Still is.
I know, she had lovely pink hair. Oh, hi, Paul. That's my friend from Hull.
Oh, hello, Paul.
I think I've only met him twice in real life.
Sister Susie. Who's Sister Susie?
Who's Sister Susie? Don't know who it is.
Well, we look forward to seeing her.
Matt, if you're on Facebook, you can just put it on my Facebook page. Put it on, just post it on my Facebook page, Matt. That'll be fine. And I'll send it on for you. Because I'm so good at my tech now. Mind you, I've learned a lot of tech while I've been doing this.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. At my old age, I still learn new things.
Yeah, well, you're always surprising us, Sue. You're always doing something pretty like, oh wow, she's doing this. It's amazing.
I know, it's weird, isn't it? Because I don't make it happen; they just happen to me.
Yeah.
Nice. Right, let me tell everyone who's on next week, because next week it's Mental Health Awareness Week, and this girl who used to work opposite me in Denmark Street just contacted me and said, oh, I'm doing mindfulness now. You could do something? I went, perfect. So Kate Greenslade, she's got a bit of a pop connection as well, because her dad was in Coliseum. Do you remember that prog rock band?
No.
Yeah, prog rock band called Coliseum, and then he had his own band called Greenslade. But, you know, she's not here to discuss that. She's going to discuss mindfulness and give us all tips, because as things are getting more and more bizarre, I think you said yourself, you did some mindfulness on yourself, didn't you?
Yeah.
So as well as drawing her next week, I think it'd be very interesting and useful as well, because that's what we aim to do. Right.
I'll be joining you.
Oh, we've got all met. It was absolutely lovely to speak to you. So I found out lots about you that I didn't even know. Bye, everyone.
It was lovely.
Just wait for bye.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Big love you all. Thank you.